Right, so I've been asked several questions about revision, and I'm going to try some different things. Say hi, you, we, together, because I think that's going to be the most useful for all of us. So the way I think might be a really good way to start is identifying all those big holes that you have in your brain that need to be filled because you kind of went in, went out again, or you've just lost it somewhere. And it happens, it's normal. And the second you walk out of the exam, you might not be able to answer any of these questions ever again, and that's perfectly fine because you'll get retaught it as you need it in a different way. So one thing I saw that I thought, oh, actually that's really good because it's helpful for you and it's helpful for me. So then that makes it helpful for you because I can go, oh, nobody knows this, or these people need more help in this, I'll send them this, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and whatever we need to do. So the way they do it, I heard, was you grab your dot point to begin with. You might end up doing a whole concept. You pick a dot point. In this case, I was looking at calculations involving equilibrium, which is hidden in here somewhere. There you go. So it's just one dot point. There you go. Calculation involving equilibrium expressions and constants for a closed homogeneous system. Including dependence, the value of equilibrium constants is units, the equation to represent the reaction, and on temperature. So bits of that are going to mean something, bits of it are not, and that's okay now. The aim is at the end, you, like a few days before the exam, that all means lots, and you're amazing and you can do it. So first thing I would do is I would do a free writing thing, and I'm going to try and do it. So that's my, so Casey, something over something. I can't remember because it's a Monday afternoon and I'm tired and I'm not very well and I'm not very, yeah. And it's perfectly fine to not remember this stuff because I haven't been using it. I've been using lots of other stuff. So that, I've got the higher the Casey, more that goes more that way. Oh, we've got this thing going on. What else have we got? We've got homogeneous is mentioned in there. So that means that same state, gas, or liquid. What changes, Casey? I can't remember. This is really poor. I'm not doing very well. Yeah, so that's my poor example. Please do not share this with lots of people. It's embarrassing. Then I can share that with somebody else. Right? Sometimes you think you don't know anything until you talk to someone else and then you go, oh yeah. So making this an online document with your buddy, or even if you can find a way to online hang out together, or when we're in the flesh doing this together, is a really good thing. And swapping papers, not licking papers, you know, maybe not touching hands after you swap papers, but someone who can go in and goes, oh, I remember this is this and this is that, and oh, do you remember when she was talking about that, or do you remember when we looked at this example, because then, you know, you might have your examples in here. And this is not necessarily a logical kind of clear thing, it's more of a brain dumper. What do I know? Oh, it's not very much. Okay, then next step is you've talked to your buddy knows some things you don't know, you know some things they don't know. Together you can fill in a few of those gaps. Then you go to the textbook. The textbook's really good because it's got these sections. So if you look at this calculations, there's my calculations, was 6.4. So it's got the dot point here, and then it's got all the kind of bits related to it underneath. That's my content. Yeah, I don't know actually anything of anything. And that's kind of a summary in the textbook of what those calculations are. So that's using that and the textbook, you can fill in some of the gaps. So yeah, so this doesn't actually give you everything, but it's stuff in the textbook. There'll be stuff in your notes, there'll be stuff online. You might want to watch an Ed Rollo video just to kind of make those links. Then what you can do is you can say, right, you can now break it up further. So this is your traffic light system. So red is stop. That's like a help. This is like a meh, I'm going to say. And this is go. So if you can put sections of this in here. So this... it's not completely foreign to me. I just need a bit of, you know, extra help on that. Probably just need to look at some questions to remind myself and some other stuff. The stuff I didn't get at all. I didn't look at Q at all. I didn't mention that. I didn't. Units I didn't even think about. I didn't look at ice. Really, this is quite terrible. And you'll fill in the bits that you're missing. And then, you know, you might have a few. You have a few in here. And you have a few in here. These ones, you're not going to want to spend much time on because you've already got them pretty successfully. These ones, you're going to get some more questions on, or you're going to look up the questions online around those concepts. These are the ones where you're going to need more help with. So these questions would be the questions I would go to my teacher with, and I say, hey, have you got any information on this stuff? Because these are the bits that I'm getting stuck on. Eventually, you're going to be able to go through it again, and you're going to be able to go, okay, that one I'm much more confident with, so I can go over here. This one is over here, because I've done enough practice that I've made it down here. And you're going to move stuff out of the red zone. Might go that way, and then that way. Might go straight down to here, because once you've seen it, you go, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. I just couldn't remember in the panic of doing it. And I think by doing it dot point by dot point is going to make these kind of come out as what you need. Because the problem, and using the textbook, because if I look at this, it doesn't mean very much unless I'm linking it back to some examples and some questions. So my concentration time graph, thermochemical equations and states, balancing, this is equilibria. There's a lot in this that if you look at this and kind of skim it, you don't pull out. So I think it's about going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and coming up with these kind of things. And eventually you're going to come from here for each dot point, and it's going to become maybe a chapter. So most of the chapter is going to be moving over here into your green zone. Most of the chapter might be, some of the chapter might be here, and then there might be 3 or 4 things in each chapter that identify here. And then that's going to make it much easier for us to work together to get these things out of here, into here, and then into here. And there might be some things that are always going to be kind of in a middle zone, because it's in, like, you've got those brain blocks that we just cannot get over. And that's fine. Just keep asking for that help to try and get these things over. Work with people. See what people's have differently in theirs and see if someone can explain. So if someone knows this concept really well, they might be able to explain it to you in a different way, and it might help you move over there. Or you might be over here with this concept. Someone else might be over here, but if you talk to them, you might move yourself over here, and that might move those over there. So this is one thing I thought was really good, because it's kind of a collaborative, sharey-carey, and it helps break down what is actually a lot of content into separate little bits. It doesn't necessarily have to use these. Well, red, orange, yellow, green is a good idea because it's a traffic lighting system. But I'm not looking for all of the detail in here. I'm looking for just you identifying what I need to and what you need to be working on. Because the more we can pull out what we don't know, the better it's going to be for everybody. That was much longer than I wanted it to be. But that's one thing I thought was really useful. There's lots of other strategies. Keep letting me know if anyone... I know you haven't really started. But I like this one because I think... No, I know I used to waste time revising what I already knew. Because it's easy and it's nice and it makes you feel all comfortable and all that's nice. Whereas revising things we don't know... horrible. Puts us out of our comfort zone. Makes you think you don't know anything. But ultimately, that's kind of what we need. There's no point looking at this stuff down here because you already know it. Well, have fun.